Hello and welcome to episode 91 of the gojenn podcast. This is December the 11th, 2016. Today I have so much to show you: crochet and knitting progress, finished objects, works in progress, acquisitions. What is up with me? I am gojenn on Ravelry, and I am your hostess for this podcast, and I've been going now for almost 2 years. Can you believe it? My grandson was just a little whippersnapper when he said, "Just do it, Grammy." And I mean, now he's 13 and he's so grown. It's just not fair. But anyway, let's see. I can't think of anything I need to tell you right off the bat, so let's jump right into, is that lamp causing too much glare? Let's turn, okay, let's turn you that way. This is my comfy chair. It is my favorite place in the house. It is a recliner, so I put my feet up and just knit and crochet to my heart's content. So let me show you some of the things that I have been doing. Book-wise, I'm still reading the 12. No, I finished the passage. Now I'm reading the 12 by Justin Cronin still. This week I got on a music kick, so instead of listening to my Audible book, I was listening to some music and, you know, trying to teach Adele how to sing. You know how it is. Let me check my list. Here we go. Let's just jump in with some finished objects. First, this is the Mostly Harmless. It's a shawlette, scarf, shrug. It is really, it is really gathered on this inside to kind of be like this. When it blocked, that's the way it blocked. So I'm thinking it can be worn like this, or the other way around, or whatever. This is going to be a gift at Christmas time. So to someone who I know will appreciate a handmade gift. You know who they are. If they don't appreciate it, they're not knit worthy or crochet worthy. They're just not. This is made out of Cascade 220. I'm not sure the colorway, but it's a beautiful, that's really exactly what it looks like. It's a beautiful green colorway. The pattern is by Kaylee Dawn on Ravelry. It's a free pattern. I chose, there were two options. One of the patterns had big teeth, more like the hitchhiker shawl, and then I chose the smaller teeth option, and I'm sorry that I did. Why? Because even though, and you can tell that I did block these out, but I don't know, they just roll right back over, so you miss that this whole side of the shawl has these gorgeous little teeth. So that makes me a bit sad, but the best thing about knitting and crochet and crafting in general, you live and learn. You know, you may see something on Pinterest that looks absolutely fabulous. Whew, and then you learn. Not so easy to recreate. So again, this is the Mostly Harmless. I thought that was a cute name. By Kaylee Dawn. This is something I don't think I had for y'all last week. I may have, but I don't think I did. I think I did it Sunday. Oh, it's so cute. This is one mini skein that I got from Mermaid Knits on Etsy. And she had a kit where you got the 2 ornaments, plastic, and a set of mini skeins. And then you just knit your little ornament cozy. And this is like a Christmas tree. It definitely has its good side and its bad side. Okay. And, but I think it's just gorgeous. I've had it hanging in my cubby at work. You'll see, you just saw the bad side. It's not really bad. It just has some, yeah, that's a boo-boo. But we won't talk about twisted stitches. So anyway, I have another one to do. This makes me very happy. It just took like one afternoon and night. It didn't take too long of knitting. I wish knitting had something like the magic circle that crochet does that closes up. Well, you know how when you finish a hat and you pull it tight. This had just a big old ugly hole, which happened to be perfect to set the, I mean, it turned out perfect. But it was so ugly to knit, you know, I don't know how many stitches, and then knit 2 into every one and increase out, and then you had to pop the ball in it. That was fun. I wound up having to put, because I think I went one row too many, and I had to put my yarn or my stitches onto some spare yarn so that I could get the ball in there and then knit it closed. Kind of tedious, but isn't it cute? I just really recommend this. It's again, I got the mini set and the balls. I got my balls at Mermaid Knits on Etsy. Not gonna say anything either. Let's see, another finished object. What? That was 2. This is 3. I do believe this is the most beautiful thing I have made in recent memory. This is the Jennifer cowl by Doris. Not Doris. One moment, please. And I will tell you, it is by... It's not Doris Chan. And of course, my internet is going intensely slow. I think this is a very clever pattern. I think this is a very beautiful pattern. Look at that. I mean, to me, that is just gorgeous. It's very fine yarn. This is the Malabrigo sock yarn in the Stone Chat colorway, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. I'm sure I am. This is by Vicky Chan. I'm so sorry. I had Doris Chan on the brain because she's one of my favorite designers too. And I was lucky enough to have a class from Miss Doris Chan. But anyway, this is the finished cowl. And these are not my colors, not what I would choose. That green is almost a brown. And the red is a burgundy deep wine color. My word, it is wow. Again, I do think this is one of the most beautiful things I have ever made. I'm very proud of it. And you would be hard-pressed to find a boo-boo. If there's a boo-boo in it, I don't know about it. Because with crochet, I find crochet so much easier to go back and fix a mistake on. You just rip it out and go back in. But knitting, you have to put all those stitches back on your needles. Yikes. Okay. Are you believing that? I was just blown away. I have 3 finished objects in 1 week, and they weren't sock yarn blankets. Oh, I did make. This is just a granny square pattern. This yarn is so crazy wild, you may not be able to tell that. But my problem had been, you know, I make my sock yarn blanket squares out of the mini skeins or out of what's left from a skein of yarn. But then sometimes I would have, after I made my ball of yarn, after I made my blanket square, I would maybe have this much left, or this much left. And I know that's just well, I can't throw that away, but I don't want to have all these. I don't want to keep these. So what I've decided to do is just make granny squares, or maybe make one huge granny square and just keep adding on. I doubt that I'll do that. I don't think I'm going to do that. But then join them as I go and just make a big sock yarn granny blanket monster mashup craziness. And you know, this is not my favorite yarn. I wouldn't choose to make, I don't know though, it's got sparkle and it's wild and it would cover a multitude of sins. But anyway, I just was going to let you know that I'll be showing you this from time to time as I add on to it. And I knew I didn't want to make one of those knitted on the square bias cozy memory blankets, because then what if I have more yarn left over after I do that? What am I going to do with that yarn? I'm planning to knit it. No, I'm not. I'm planning to crochet this to the very last bit of yarn. Leave myself enough to weave in an end and not keep the rest, because I mean, I know I paid money for this yarn, and then I've made a sock yarn, and who knows, I mean, I have made a blanket square out of it, and I've got this much left. I cannot throw that away. My mother would know, and she would come and she would smack me. What are you doing throwing that away? Right, Mom? Right. So anyway, that was a whip, because that's going to be a whip, a work in progress for a long, long time. Let me show you something that I started this week. I'll admit, crochet doesn't have a cool term like knitting has cast on. I cast on this week. I made a chain. I chained. I started hooking. This summer we had a family reunion, and I was fortunate enough to make friends with some family that I hadn't seen in years. I don't know if you're seeing that, but it's orange and burgundy. So do you know what sport team they love? In Virginia. If you know the Virginia Tech Hokies at all, you know that that's their team. So I am making a cowl for my cousin's wife. We've been Facebook friends for a while, but now it's really neat to be actual friends. I'm really glad that we had that family reunion and reestablished some ties. I don't think family does that. I mean, we used to hang out at my grandmother's house, all the cousins. I knew my cousins well, and my children didn't have that. So anyway, which we don't have the huge families that, you know, my grandmother did with seven children. Anyway, that makes a whole lot more cousins than 2 kids. But anyway, and I'm just using hoops and, what is this? Loops and Threads Impeccable worsted weight yarn. I was going to make a scarf. I made quite a bit of scarf, and then I was thinking about it, and when you go to a football game, you don't want a scarf that's going to be slipping off your shoulders, or that you're going to forget and leave in the stands because it came off. And so a cowl is like a scarf that you don't have to keep up with. And would you believe nearly all of my project bags are full? That's what you get for having all this stuff on the go. Plus, this is 2 full skeins of yarn right now, so it's just in a Ziploc bag, because I have to keep everything together. So, okay, I had 3 FOs. I have the granny square blanket that's going to be ongoing. I have my hokey cowl that's ongoing. And here's my Fat Squirrel Amy Beth bag. Crowd roars, crowd goes wild because it's, wow, it's a sock. Aren't you? I don't know if you're impressed, but I am. Let me see if I can. I had said at one time that I wasn't really following a pattern, just kind of a sock recipe made up that I had found online, but I have had to find a pattern, and this is just your basic sports socks, and the pattern is by Allison Johnson, and it's free on Ravelry. I did turn the heel. Last week when I talked to you, I had the heel just finished, and I hadn't finished it up to the point that I was working on the foot, but now I am working on the foot. Hold on, I'm going to insert a picture of what they look like here. So this is the sock, and it is going to fit. I tried it on. I was very pleased. This is a little baggy because I didn't know what I was doing. But and this is just a heel and flap and turn to the heel. I mean, nothing special. But I think I saw some socks that one of my Ravelry and online friends, Christy Rose, said that she always does the slip stitch heel flap thing. So I've looked that up and gotten a pattern to do that. So I think on my second sock of this series, I'm going to do a different heel flap. And it's okay with me if they have different heel flaps. I mean, the colors will continue on. I have an enormous gap right here that I could maybe stick a toe through. But you live and learn. I should really call this podcast You Live and Learn, because, or if you don't, you're going to make the same mistake again. Right? So anyway, I just wanted y'all to see how proud I am of my sock. Yay! And I know I watch the podcasts of people who, okay, I cast on this sock and they already have the leg done. I cast it on yesterday and I cast on this sock and I've got it done, and now I'm just waiting for a second. Okay, they've got way more time than I do. I think for 1 week, 3 FOs and work on 3 separate whips. Wow. Right? Are you as proud of me as I am? I mean, seriously. These are my, this is from Knit Picks. It's and my needles, my double pointed needles are all from Knit Picks. But this is the double point project saver, so that, you know, you don't, because I really do. I have a fear of losing my stitches off of these double points. They're not real slippy, but they're slippy enough. I just think these are beautiful. I was thinking I could give them to my mom because she's cold-natured enough to be able to wear a wool sock, but I think they might be just too messed up. Too much messes. So, wow. All of that. Unbelievable, right? I do have, oh, this is me over here. I do have a little bit of acquisitions. Not much. This is what's left of my Malabrigo after making the cowl. I can't tell, I don't know, I haven't weighed it to see how much I have left. But I don't know about a pair of mitts. I don't know if I've got enough for a pair of mitts. I've got to weigh it to see how much I have. I need to make a sock yarn blanket square out of this and see what else I can make. I may be able to take this and hold it with another, or use another sock weight yarn to make something else, like a hat. I'm going to have to see. So anyway, that was quite a bit left over. I was pleased. Okay, this is from Yarn Supply. They had a Black Friday sale, and so I got a set of ChowGoo 9-inch circular needles. These are what I've seen some of the podcasters like Amber on Yarn Hoarder. Anyway, I've seen several people making their socks on these tiny needles. And the one tip that I heard was to hold them as if you're holding delicate china. Because they said if you're trying to hold them like you usually, you know, hold your knit needles, it won't work. You have to hold them very delicately, and that will really help you get the hang of it, that they feel really weird to begin with. So I'm going to try these. If you hear jingling, that's my boy Lucky. He is trying to dig his way through to China to make himself a little nest. I also got some more sock yarn, and you don't know how much trouble I've had not getting all the sock yarn. Because once I've realized that I kind of enjoy making the sock, I think I should have all the sock yarn, but I haven't. This is Premier Yarns Deborah Norville collection, Serenity Sock Weight Teal Tees. That's darker than you're seeing. Does that help? Yeah. Purple, teal. These are my colors. So I have 2 skeins of this that I'm going to use on my next pair of socks. I may go ahead and cast them on, because I see people do that all the time. They cast on the second and third pair of socks without ever finishing the first pair, and then they've got all these going. And then I got a skein of Patton's Denim. It's 68% cotton, 16% wool, and 16% acrylic. I'm not sure. I think I saw a podcast, Ross, with Smells Like Wool, and I think he made a hat out of this denim. So this is red denim. So I guess I'll make a hat. I don't know. It's pretty. It's a lot more pink. Yeah, but it's pink. So anyway, now I have no excuse not to go ahead and work on my next socks. I could, I guess, go ahead and cast on the second sock in the first set. I might do that. Okay, so let me review. Yes, I'm done. That's me for another week. But I really got a lot accomplished in the week. And I feel better about what I've accomplished. This is a pattern from Moogly, and I want to say it's, oh, I'm sorry, On the Road, Hit the Road, some kind of road. It's very, see, it's very latticey cowl, but once you squish it together with, you know, around your collar, you don't see the lattice, you just see the color. And boy, did it work up fast. This is old. I made this maybe 2 years ago or something, but I'm really trying to wear my handmade things to work a lot, just because where else am I going to wear them? I don't ever go anywhere else. And I do have on, yay, Ravelry. I do have on my Ravelry hooded sweatshirt. Well, I mean, it's a zipper. And I wear this to work too, to show off how crafty I am, because nobody else there knows what Ravelry is, unless I've told them. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the program. It was a busy one for me. I hope you're doing well with your holiday crafting. I think I'm done with holiday crafting. I may finish, you know, try to make another ornament cozy, but, and then give that away, but that's not, I can't really think of anybody that needs one. But anyway, I'm kind of glad to be getting out of some of those big projects. The last gift that I was really working on was that cowl, and now I am so pleased with it. So until I see you the next time that I'm sitting in my big comfy chair, I hope you have a week filled with lots and lots of love and laughter.